Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of May 18th through the 24th. And during that time, we will have a last quarter moon that comes in on the 20th. And that's a really good time for reflection, kind of, releasing what no longer serves us, preparing for new beginnings, letting go, and definitely taking responsibility for your past actions. So you do that, and then we move into the waning crescent energy, and that's surrender, rest, and healing as we get ready for a new cycle. So keep those moon energies in mind as you're moving through your week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Taurus. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. We had a flyer come out, so we will take that for your overall message. The end of a tough cycle approaches. All right, Taurus, let's see what you guys have going on for this week. And as I'm shuffling, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It's really, really easy for you to do, and it helps my channel so much. So I will give you just a moment to hit that button right now while I'm shuffling. And thank you so much for doing that. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back and helping me build a community here. I see you and I appreciate you. So thank you so much. Also, my weekly reminder this week is that you notice the world around you. This would be kind of looking for the synchronicities that the universe is dropping. And, I kind of see this as a secret language. And, if you're clued into that, then you're kind of seeing that. If you're not, then maybe it's time to pay attention. This could be animals that get in front of you, maybe, repeating numbers or patterns. Maybe just a little snippet of a song or a conversation, something that you overhear. But what those are kind of breadcrumbs on your path, and it's all unique to you, things that you see that just kind of give you clarity. These, could come in as kind of a confirmation or an affirmation or just little messages. So pay attention to that this week, and that is just kind of my fun weekly message. So, all right, Taurus, for May 18th through the 24th, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Let's see what you guys have going on. All right, your overall present energy is the Seven of Pentacles here. So it looks like, you've got a harvest coming in. And again, if it says the end of a tough cycle, it could be that you've been just kind of hard at work on something. This could be, actual work at your job, some sort of project, something where, everything's done and you're just kind of waiting for things to either happen or come to fruition. So that seems to be your current energy. Your current situation is the Four of Cups. So you're also kind of sitting in a place of feeling just a little bit dissatisfied. And maybe you're not super happy with, with the seeds that you've planted. Maybe there's things that you're just not happy about, or maybe you're just impatient about waiting for it. So a little bit of dissatisfaction. I want to say that I notice in both of these cards, this person does kind of have their head down. And so I'm going to say again, don't forget to look up sometimes if you're looking down and kind of down in the dumps. Sometimes it is just waiting. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about things. At the root of your situation is the Nine of Pentacles. So, the root of your situation is you enjoying the fruits of your labor. So, is there some reason why you feel like you're not able to do that? Because that seems to be the root of your situation, is that you have put in the time and energy, but there's some sort of maybe a little bit of dissatisfaction, just some, it could be just something emotional that's bothering you. It could not have anything to do with your material or your financial life, but just something that's kind of just got you thinking and got you a little bit down. In your recent past here, we've got the Seven of Swords, who I have seen in so many readings this week. So many, I want to say that probably more than half of my readings have had the Seven of Swords in different areas. So, you could be coming out of this situation. This can be our card of cunning, craftiness, kind of theft, hidden agenda. But there's, I'm looking at where he's looking to. He's looking over his shoulder here. And I see this because this is an air energy card. There's a way too that I see that you've, maybe if you imagine that all of these swords are thoughts that you've been having, that maybe you've said a couple of things, but you kind of held back on a few others, and you're just kind of moving away with those thoughts. And that um, could be maybe a reason for your dissatisfaction. Maybe you didn't speak up when you were supposed to. Also, I'm going to point out that we have 2 sevens going here. So we might look and see if any more sevens come out for you. But sevens is getting close to the end of a cycle. And of course, this is saying an end of a tough cycle approaches. So maybe it just has been tough and we're, just getting to a place where that is going to end and you're going to turn over a new leaf and there's going to be new things happening for you. On your mind this week is the Knight of Pentacles. So, this is our action card. And here we are with more Pentacles. Again, Pentacles all in a straight row here with the 9, the 7, and now the Knight. So, this could be something, again, in your material world, something financial. I mean, it definitely looks like with 3 cards that way. What's just ahead of you is the Knight of Wands. So there is some action and movement. And it looks like, I've got 2 guys moving to the past. And this Knight of Wands is kind of one of them. And then I've got 2 others kind of, if you look how everybody's head is turned in these cards, there's a lot of thinking about the past with this. This Knight of Pentacles is the only one kind of moving forward. Um, and I'm going to say this one, she's kind of neutral, but there seems to be something about whatever this thing that's happened in the past has you kind of focused on it. Knight of Wands would be action in the way of something passionate or passion, something that you really feel deeply about. And maybe there is something in your past right now that that's just kind of causing you to not be able to wrap up the cycle, and it has been tough on you. And we'll see what your advice card is here. Okay, your advice card is the Wheel of Fortune. Your advice card is that you need to maybe let this go and go ahead and evolve. This is a card of, this can be kind of reversal. This can represent like a prediction of something. This can represent time. Sometimes things just have to work their course. This can represent rhythm. This can also say that there is an opportunity here and it's time to act on something. So, I'm going to say if there's something here that's bothering you from your past, you need to work on that. And it might take a little bit of time this week to kind of focus, just to get yourself through it. But, it's kind of time for this wheel to turn. It's time for you to move on. And, whatever that might be for you, we are kind of in that moon energy right now that you are going to be kind of reflecting on things and again, kind of letting go. So it's a good time for that with the moon energy. What is beyond your control this week is the Emperor. So beyond your control is, the Emperor is a leader. This is kind of just structure. This is building something. This is having clear vision. So, and it could be if you take the time to really think about this, whatever this thing from the past that's coming in, that you need to develop some sort of clear vision. And it looks like it's beyond your control to do that. So whatever it is for you that takes you to do that, whether that be, journaling, writing things down, kind of, just clarifying exactly what went on and what your role in it was, and how you can go to, how you can move forward and not have to repeat, whatever this thing is that's clearly stressing you out. What is your secret desire? What you're trying to avoid? Well, of course, your ultimate happiness is your secret desire. I don't blame you. So we're moving here from the 9 to the 10 of Cups. And that's kind of at the root of things. You're basically a happy person. This thing has kind of bothered you. So whatever it is that's bothering you, you are going to have to work on it this week. Put some time into it so that you can move on. In your outcome position is the Knight of Swords. So now we have 3 swords. And this Knight of Swords specifically, and I'm going to say that once again, this is a card looking towards the past. I think this really just signals this is the intellectual letting go, and to do it quickly. Look at that horse. That horse is done, and oh, going pretty quick. This is our most expedient of horses, but thoughts travel very quickly. So maybe there's, something that you need to straighten out just in your mind and just clarify and kind of get through so that you can turn this wheel and get to the new place. Or, this could be something in the form of messaging. Maybe maybe whatever happened back here, maybe you owe someone an apology. Maybe you owe someone an explanation. There is, like I said, you've left 2 swords here, but you might have walked away with 5 of them. You didn't say everything that needed to be said. So it could be that for some of you as well. What's being hidden from you this week, Taurus? is the Page of Swords. So, you know, our pages are about kind of a new way of messaging, and that's hidden from you. So let me think about that for a second. So with these swords in the positions that they are, I'm going to say that this sticks, and that this Page of Swords that's hidden from you tells me that you know how to do this. You actually know how to intellectually handle this, or handle it in the messaging way. You know how to speak to whatever that is that you need to. This is not a problem of you not understanding it. You know, our pages are kind of about kind of the juvenile energy of that suit. You know, they can be messengers sometimes, but that's hidden from you, which tells me that you have a maturity about you, that you know how to be clear and say exactly what's on your mind and get that thing said to address whatever this thing is in the past so that you can move forward. All right, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Taurus from the Soul Oracle deck. Let's see here. Be patient is the first one. So, you know, again, your overall message card was the end of a tough cycle approaches. It doesn't say that the end is here. So you're kind of getting there. And if this week is about, again, working out whatever that thing is from the past that has you dissatisfied, then you just need to work on it. Another card here for you, love your spirit. So Taurus, yeah, I'm going to say that your advice this week is to work on turning that new leaf. Work on resolving this thing from the past that has you a little bit dissatisfied, so that you can sit in these more positive energies. You know, this Nine of Pentacles here, this Ten of Cups. We did have 2 7s. I don't see anything else popping up. We did have 2 7s. So look up the angel number 7 7. We also did have a couple of 10s. So 7 7 10 10. There might be some words there in those angel numbers that might help you along this path. So take a look at that and see if it'll help you. Like I said, if you need to journal or write something down, or if you need to send a message or write a letter to somebody, you know, that could be a thing too. But work on getting this page turned so that next week you can kind of work through getting to the end of the cycle, and then you'll kind of be lined up with the moon to start new things. So Taurus, I wish you the best of luck with all of this. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I do appreciate your time with me. And I do hope there was something, again, that you can take away and get out of this messaging, out of this kind of little snapshot of your situation. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what it is that you're going through, or if you have any questions or commentary at all about this at all, I'm happy to read those messages from you. So also, if you do like my reading style, please like and subscribe. It really does help my channel, and I appreciate that so, so much. So the other important thing is that if you do that, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks again, Taurus, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.